Thank you
Yes.
very much for taking initiative to organize our session about study and research in Germany. And we also thank the higher authorities of SVNIT Surat as well, and students who have joined online. And it is a Saturday morning, so we appreciate the presence of students as well. And from DAD Information Site Point Pune also welcomes you to this info session about study and research in Germany. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Dr. Yeah, yeah. So we'll
Yes. Yes.
proceed with the yeah. Now we'll proceed with the presentation. Before we start with the information, I would like to inform you about our organization, who we are, and what we do. So DAAD stands for Deutscher Akademischer Austauschdienst. That's the German Academic Exchange Service. We are self-governing and not-for-profit organization. We are primarily funded by the Federal Foreign Office and Ministry of Education and Research. Our head office is in Bonn, Germany, and we have 15 regional offices and 57 information centers or points worldwide. So we were founded in
Oh,
1925, and we our main focus is to promote exchange and internationalization of education and research, exchange of students and scholars. So we are the world's largest funding organization, which is funded or supported by the government. So we have actually more than 130,000 scholarship holders in 2016, but every year the number is more or less the same. We are talking about the worldwide scholarships we give to Germans as well as to international students. So, what do we do at Information Point Pune? So, we provide information on study and research in Germany. And we also advise students and academics on funding opportunities available, or opportunities apart from funding for the students also, or for the faculty level, which the cooperation projects we have with Indian authorities as well. We also assist in building ties between German and Indian institutions of higher education. We do conduct information session on higher studies and research opportunities in Germany with the organizations who invite us as well, or who with whom we cooperate as well. And we also offer individual counseling sessions with prior appointments, and we also do subject specific information sessions as well. uh, when we say that we provide information on study and research in Germany, that means we provide authentic information on the same, because we are a government organization. We do not work as a private agent or like an agent. That means we won't be processing or producing any documents on your behalf and send it to the universities in Germany, but we are a support system. So we guide you throughout the process, in the sense how to shortlist the universities, what sorts of documents are required. If you have any difficulties in filling up the application forms, then you can get back to us. If you want to review your CV or motivation letter, then also you can get back to us. So throughout the procedure we work as a support system, and if you follow this, the schedule which will be presenting in this coming slides as well. So in that particular way, it is a smooth procedure. So frankly speaking, you do not need any private consultant to apply to the German universities. As far as number of international students in Germany is concerned, there are about 2.8 million international students in Germany. And apart from these within these 2.8 million students, approximately 13 to 15% students are international students, and a major chunk is of course from Europe. But we are the second largest group of international students. We are the Asian students. And let us see the number of Indian students in Germany. So in 2018, we have 20,000, more than 20,000 Indian students in Germany. We have been observing the growth in number of Indian students in Germany consistently because of several reasons, basically. So we Indians form the second largest group of international students in Germany. So, before we dig in the information, let us understand the education system in Germany. There are two types of universities in Germany. technical universities and universities of applied sciences. So after school leaving, you either go for universities of applied sciences or technical universities to do your bachelor's or master's then, and then you need to enroll yourself at university or technical university for PhD. There are special colleges for performing arts related subjects and also private colleges and academies. So let us understand the difference between universities and technical technical universities and universities of applied sciences. So universities or technical universities are basically research oriented universities. So their focus is on more theoretical knowledge or methodological knowledge. So there are no fixed course groups, so to say, and the thesis you write after to pass your master degree, it is research based final thesis, and the wide range of subjects are available is available to do specialization in, and all the degrees are provided in at technical universities or universities. So after masters, if you intend to do PhD, then this university is the right choice for you, technical universities or universities. On the other hand, universities of applied sciences, these are highly praxis oriented universities. So they have actually close connections with the professional world, with the industries as well. They have fixed classes, and the thesis you write is praxis oriented thesis. And typical subjects which are taught at this type of universities is engineering, business administration, design, and so on and so forth. Applied science universities cannot award PhD degree. So till degrees are awarded till bachelor's and master's. So even if you want to do a PhD, even after doing a degree from an applied science universities, it is possible, but ultimately you need to approach technical universities or the universities. But if you don't want to do PhD and enter into the job market immediately, or if you are interested in praxis oriented job, then applied science universities is the right choice for you. So where can you find all the programs? So this is the website www.daad.de/international-programs. This is basically the search engine, and it provides you the courses primarily in English medium, English as a medium of instruction. So German degrees are recognized worldwide, so you don't need to worry about the same. And there are ample programs available at master's level and at PhD level as well in English as a medium of instruction. That means, secondly, the type of university and the course content. Every university in Germany is autonomous, so every university has its own rules and regulations. So if you open every course page of DAAD, then you will find all the necessary details at a glance. So what is the course? What is the degree awarded? The duration, application deadline, course content, what are the language requirements, what are the academic requirements, so on and so forth. And you are also linked to the course website as well as with the contact person from the university side. So whatever university or course related queries are, please get in touch with the universities directly. And when you see the courses through DAD website, make it a point that you also go through the course website for the detailed information about the course, which gives you the detailed syllabus, what are the permutation combinations you can take, how is the course designed, and what are the credit points to which how many credit points to which subjects, and what are the permutation combinations, and so on and so forth. So this the list can be ready after filtering the courses from our search engine. So as I mentioned that on our course pages, we also mention what are the requirements, academic and language requirements. For master's and PhD level, basically, German language is not treated as a prerequisite, so to say. But we definitely recommend students to learn German for your day-to-day communication purpose. You will not be asked for the German language proficiency mostly from the university side. But to get acclimatized in the country or to get socialized in the country, it will help you. And later on, if you want to do jobs in Germany, then certainly you need German language. So for study purpose, from A1 up till maximum B1 level, it is fine. But for job purpose, B2 level of German is required. If anybody is interested in opting for German taught program, Then TESTA for DSH is important. These are the German language proficiency examinations. So these are the application documents. So these are mandatory documents for application. So school and college mark sheets or transcripts. If you're not getting it from the university, then college transcripts also would do. But in SVN NIT's case, you will certainly get your transcripts if I'm not wrong. Then individualized letter of motivation or statement of purpose. Then curricular vitae CV. 2 letters of recommendation. Either IELTS or TOEFL score you will definitely require. IELTS at least 6.5 and TOEFL 90. Certificates of your co-curricular activities. This you will need. But GRE, GMAT, if applicable. Certain universities mention for Indian students they require GATE, or for they write that GRE preferred or GRE required. There you need to give GRE. Same is with the German language proficiency as well. It is not mandatory to all the universities, but a few universities could ask for the same. Now there are 2 ways of doing application to the German universities. One is direct applications to the university. It means that you need to go to the application portal of the university and then upload all the documents, and if you required, then send the paper-based application to the university directly. Whenever we say paper-based application, that means you need not send any original documents, but attested photocopies are to be sent to the universities or to Uni Assist. I'll come to that point later. So attestation you can take either by gazetted officer, or you can straight away notarize the documents. The second way of doing application is through Uni Assist. So Uni Assist is an agency forwards your applications to the German universities. Uni Assist does not have any offices outside, but only in Germany. So you need to first sign up on the Uni Assist portal and then upload all the documents. Uni Assist will scrutinize the documents and will let you know. And once they give green signal that, okay, now your documents are ready to go to the university, then you need to first transfer for the first university 35 euros, and then for the first university 70 euros, and from second university onwards 30 to 35 euros. You need to transfer to Uni Assist, and once they receive the payment from your side, they will forward it to the concerned university. Wherever universities mention that applications via Uni Assist, there it has to be via Uni Assist only. And Uni Assist, it is recommended if you're applying through Uni Assist, then you send out the documents 6 weeks prior to the university's deadline, since Uni Assist takes 6 weeks to scrutinize the documents. So basically this is the schedule for the winter intake. Because in Germany, major intake is the winter intake. So courses will begin in October or September end. And so if you're targeting 2021 winter intake, that means the next year. So this year, November till February, you can gather the information about the course, shortlist the course, gather all the necessary documents and required test scores and so on and so forth. So February till July, or January till July, you send out the applications to the university, and June onwards you apply for the student's visa and you can start finding the accommodation, and September end or October first week you fly to Germany, and then your semester will begin. German universities usually do not give admission on first come first serve basis. Once the deadline is over, universities will get back to you within 2 to 3 weeks whether they give you admission or not. This is basically how they give admission. So tuition fees. This is one of the reasons why students actually opt for Germany as the destination of higher education. Most universities in Germany are state subsidized. So they charge very low or zero tuition fee as well. And this is applicable to international students as well. So except there are 2 states, federal state of Baden-Württemberg in South Germany and Nordrhein-Westphalia in western part of Germany. So these 2 states have started taking tuition fees from international students as well. So irrespective of tuition fees, you need to pay semester contribution up to 300 euros per semester towards administrative costs, students union contribution, and different services universities will give, and mainly the semester ticket, which enables you to travel within the city by public mode of transport. So this is about the tuition fees, and now let us understand the cost of living. So around 850 euros per month is the cost of living, covers each and every expense like housing, food, internet or study material, clothing, health insurance, and so on and so forth. So this is sufficient. In this particular amount, you can really live good student's life. And this particular amount, I mean, into 12, so approximately to 10,236 euros, you need to actually show in the form of a blocked account. So this particular blocked account you need as a proof of financial resources at the time of visa. So once you actually have an admission letter in your hands, then only you can open a blocked account. So blocked account is the only way through which you can show your financial resources. And this is the most important document of finances at the time of visa. You can open this blocked account either in Kotak Mahindra Bank. You can contact your any branch in Kotak Mahindra, they will guide you. Otherwise, there are also online options given on the consulate's website as well, such as Expatio, Fintiba, and Deutsche Bank, and so on and so forth. So you can just cross-check the procedure and cross-check the so to say the time you require and documents and so on and so forth with the banks directly. So after you get the admission, you open the blocked account, then it's time for the visa application. So basically, German consulate in Mumbai caters to all these states: Maharashtra, Gujarat, Goa, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli. But those who are not from this jurisdiction, then you can apply to other German consulates. The German embassy is there in Delhi, and there are German consulates. One is in Kolkata, and the other one is in Bangalore, and also there is one consulate in Chandigarh. So you find out your own jurisdiction and apply to the German consulates directly. You need to go through the German national visa, students visa channel, and there is a complete checklist given of students visa, which you need to very meticulously follow while applying for the same. You can certainly work part-time, 120 full days or 240 half days per year. You can work on student's visa. So this is the legal limit given to you on student's visa. If you get a job like university tutor or TA, then you may work longer, but in that case you need to inform this to the aliens registration office. This amount will be just pocket money for you. It will not, so to say, cover major chunk from your expenses. So blocked account is mandatory. Apart from that, you can earn some pocket money from the part-time jobs. So what after you pass out from the university, once you have master's degree in your hand or PhD? So post-study visa you get for 18 months to search for a qualified job. So there is no restriction on work during the job search period as well. So those who pass out from masters, those who do masters and pass out from the university and would like to do PhD, then straight away they can continue with their PhD. But those who don't, those who want to do jobs, then they can work as a freelancer as well, or they can have qualified employment, or you could also work in another EU countries as well. So once you are on qualified employments for 2 to 3 years in Germany, you can apply for a blue card. So blue card is a permanent residence, and which makes the German job market basically appealing to the international graduates or international students. So Make It in Germany is a portal where you will find out more information on blue card or EU blue card, and job prospects, work permits, and moving to Germany or settling in Germany, and what type of jobs are available, and so on and so forth. So do visit this portal, makeitingermany.com. So now I hand over to my colleague Dhanashri, who will talk about the German research landscape and who will also inform you about doing PhD in Germany as well as the scholarship part. Dhanashri, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Girija. So before we move forward, I take this opportunity to also thank Dr. More to arrange this session, and also to SVNIT Surat for this online, providing this online platform. And we are very glad that more than 100 students are now joined the session. So let's come to our information point today, and I'll mainly focus on the research in Germany and the DAD scholarships. As you see here, if we talk about a German research landscape, then there are three main sectors where the research take place. It's, of course, the universities where the research conducted, then there are non-university research institutions, and there are independent and a lot of collaborative research also take place in the industrial sector. Next. Yeah. Coming to the how to do a PhD or how to approach for a PhD, it's a little bit different than what we do here in India, because in India is very straightforward that you apply to a university, get a position and do your PhD. In Germany, there are two approaches of doing PhD. So there is a very traditional approach. So many students used to do PhD through that, and also currently does that. It's called as an individual PhD. As the word indicates, it's a very independent individual approach to do your PhD. For that, a student needs a research idea, a research synopsis, and approach a professor with his idea. If professor agrees to work as to supervise, then a student can do a PhD under that professor. Here, the procedure is very flexible, very informal, because you need acceptance from a professor. He agrees and then allows you to do a PhD. Even in documents required and everything, there is a lot of flexibility in that. But on the other hand, when there is a flexibility, there is also a responsibility. So you have to be very independent, very responsive to finish your PhD work on your own PhD independently. The professor will just be there and provide you guidance. On the other hand, structured PhD programs are very similar to what we have here in India. You approach a university, there are positions open. So if you find a suitable position, you straight away apply, look at the requirements, provide those documents. You get a position and you do your PhD in that university. Then university or institution, wherever you apply to. Then university or institution's responsibilities is that they provide you supervisor. There's sometimes one supervisor or a team of supervisor. There are group PhDs going, and you'll be a part of that group, and you do your project independently in that whole project. This kind of PhD usually has a timeline of 3 years. And on the other hand, individual PhDs can be done up to 3 to 5 years in Germany. Next. Now, at first we saw that there are three parts or three pillars of research in Germany. And this is important to know that there are research organizations in Germany. These are called as non-university research organization. And they are doing varied research in different subject field. Depends on their type of research. So whether they are doing a fundamental research or applied research, and the different subject field, these are the different organizations. Some of them are government funded, some of them are co-funded by government as well as privately, some of industry funded. So different funding also flows in this organization. You might have heard these names like Max Planck, Fraunhofer, Leibniz Association. So Max Planck particularly deals with fundamental research, and the subjects like social science, humanities, natural science are basically focused in this institution. Fraunhofer, on the other hand, is a very much applied science institution, and that's the reason they also closely work with industry and do applied based research. All of these institutions are spread across Germany. You will find several institutions focusing on one or the other subject, and every university, every institution has a separate website. Go to on this website, you will find what are their projects and what PhDs they are offering, and accordingly you can apply. Next one. Coming to the scholarship part, when we talk about scholarship at the bachelor level, we hardly don't have any scholarship. When we talk about master, we have very subject specific and few scholarships available, as Girija already talked about the tuition fee and all. So in a way, there are free programs offered, so the scholarship is in a way given to you. So there are no extra scholarships given at master level, but still DAD has some scholarships which are subject specific. In one scholarship, for example, in the field of architecture, we provide. Some are in the some are in the natural science also, some are in the music, art, theater subjects. But there's one scholarship which is basically requires a 2 years of work experience. We call it as EPOS, that is Development Related Postgraduate Program. There are a list of universities and courses listed. So only for those universities and courses you can get the scholarships. The list is available on our website, but important is you need a 2 years of relevant work experience in that. Regarding the maybe all the Indian student related scholarships you will find on our regional website, that is the DART.in website. And apart from DAD, whatever scholarships are offered by German institutions, you will find on the website called funding-guide.d. So you can refer to both the database and find the relevant scholarship. But as said, masters, very few scholarship. And when we come to PhD, of course, we have full funded 3 years PhD scholarship. Next one. Yeah, so this is about the WISE scholarship, which we particularly would like to talk about today, because it's a special scholarship for special institutions. So not all Indian institutions are listed for this scholarship. It's not open to all the students. So, but it's open for SVNIT students. So certain institutions are listed for that. And we are very happy that SVNIT is a part of that. Basically, it's an internship scholarship. You will get an opportunity to go to Germany and do a research internship at an university or a research institution for 2 to 3 months in Germany. The research stay can be done from May to August. If you wish to apply for this scholarship, the eligibility is you should be those who are doing their bachelor's degree. They should be in their 5th or 6th semester. And those who are doing integrated bachelor and master degree, for them, the students from 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th semester can apply. Another eligibility is you should have a very good academic. So it's an academic based scholarship. So at least 8 or 8.5 should be your grade average if you wish to apply for the scholarship. Every year we have a deadline of 1st of November. And usually in month of February, we declare the result, and then the student go in the May or during May and August as whatever is the suitable timeline for the student. Important for this scholarship application is also that a student approach a university or a research organization and get the internship. So basically, DAD provides a scholarship, but internship application should be directly done from the student to the university, get the acceptance letter, and then apply for the DAD scholarship. The scholarship also, like the amount of scholarship is 750 euros monthly stipend, airfare is given, and insurance is covered. So pretty much most of the cost will be covered through this scholarship. Next. Yeah, so we talked about the scholarships basically earlier as well. So as mentioned, scholarships for masters are basically just 2 scholarships which might be relevant for you guys. That is the Helmut Schmidt program. It is the scholarship for public policy, good governance, and there is another postgraduate courses with relevance to developing countries. That's the one I talked about, where the 2 years of work experiences required, and very specific courses and universities are listed. For PhD, we have a full funded scholarship. The first one is mentioned is basically binationally supervised doctoral degree. This scholarship is for the students, those who are registered here in India, doing their PhD here in India, can also go to Germany to do 1 year of research, stay in Germany and do your research there. Of course, the final degrees will be provided by the Indian organization. Research grants, doctoral programs in Germany, that's our full funded PhD scholarship. It's given for 3 years duration, and of course to do the entire PhD in Germany. This is again airfare is covered, and we provide a stipend payment of 1,000 to 1,200 euros per month. Insurance is covered, so it's again a completely covered scholarship. Deadline for our PhD scholarship is usually in the month of October, and for both the scholarships we required acceptance letter from a professor, and your research proposal, research synopsis is required, and on that basis you can apply. Going for PhD, of course, master's is an eligibility, so you have to do your master's and then only you'll be able to do your PhD in Germany. And for the scholarship also, then you have to produce your academic documents and also your master degree certificate. Moving next. This is something we also recommend. So these are also funding agencies which we also talked earlier. The German Research Foundation is the biggest organization in Germany which provides funding, and they have several programs. They have collaborative programs also with other European countries. So you will find their programs on their website. And the other one, which is the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, is actually comes in the postdoctoral research. So it's something which you can later explore on, but just keep in mind that certain scholarships are also there and they are well paid scholarship. Next. So with this are the important links which we recommend you to always follow. These are all like DAD websites. So all authentic information you will find on that. DAT.in is our official regional website which provides all the information about study in Germany, as well as basically what DAD activities are conducted in India and in your region. So all that you will find there. Also the scholarship information you will find on this website. So that's an important website. Study in Germany provides you mainly information of student life in Germany. There are different blogs, information available, so which you can explore. Funding Dash Guide is again scholarships which are apart from DAD, the information will be found there. International program is the website you should always refer to find out the courses in Germany. And same is the summer course, basically, that's called as Sommer course. These are the basic preparatory language courses as well as some of subject-specific courses offered in the summer break in Germany, that is starting from June to September. They are very short-term programs. If you really want to explore the country, see the culture, and plan your future studies in Germany, you can pay a visit by attending such a courses. They are just 15 days or a maximum for a month. These courses are offered. Next. Yeah, so with this, we're through with our presentation. These are our contact details. So if you later after this presentation, when you actually start processing for the scholarship, for applying to your masters, you can get in touch with us. Right now, we are all in lockdown. Our offices are closed, but we are available over the phone. So the phone numbers mentioned here are working. You can call us